Hi there! Today we're going to be making an apple pie. So let's get started. First things first, we need some apples. Pink lady apples are my favorite, but use whatever you like. Peel them, core them, slice them up. We'll be using about 8 to 10 apples for this recipe. Once you have them sliced up, set them aside. Next, we're going to make the pie crust. Now you can use store-bought pie crust, but if you'd like to make your own, the recipe is provided below. For this recipe, you will need all-purpose flour, butter, salt, and ice water. In a large bowl, combine the flour and salt, then cut in the butter until the mixture resembles coarse crumbs. If you want to get fancy, you can use a pastry blender, but I just use my fingers. Once the butter has been cut into the flour, go ahead and add your ice water, 1 tablespoon at a time, mixing with a fork after each addition. The dough will start off crumbly, but will eventually come together to form a ball. Once the dough is even, divide it in half. Flatten each piece into a disc. Wrap them in plastic wrap and refrigerate for at least 1 hour or overnight. This is so the dough has time to rest and become more manageable when you're ready to roll it out. Once the dough has rested, go ahead and roll it out on a lightly floured surface to a 12-inch circle. Line a 9-inch pie dish with the dough, trim any excess dough, then crimp the edges. We'll be using the top crust to make a lattice crust, so go ahead and repeat the rolling process. Roll the dough out to a 12-inch circle. You'll want to cut this one into strips for the lattice design. Now we're going to start putting the apples in the pie. Next, pour the remaining apple juice over the apples. Then add your desired amount of sugar. I like to use brown sugar, but you can use white sugar or a sugar substitute. Then sprinkle the cinnamon and nutmeg over the apple slices. Place the lattice crust on top of the pie. Then trim any excess dough. Brush the top crust with some melted butter. Now we're ready to bake. Bake the pie on 375 degrees Fahrenheit oven for 45 to 55 minutes, or until the crust is golden brown and the apples are tender. Once the timer goes off, let the pie cool on a wire rack for at least 2 hours before slicing and serving. And there you have it, a homemade apple pie, perfect for any occasion. Thanks for watching and see you next time.
Jai dear.